Alrighty, what's going up, everybody? It's your boy Frosty, and yes, I'm finally doing more content for you guys where I'm actually talking about more about, dual citizen. So yes, I know I haven't been posting a lot, and I know this content is very different from what I actually do in perspective, but I guess I could make this as a series of how to make about dual citizen. So if you have not received your dual citizen or you haven't gotten it, I do recommend you to watch this first video here. That's right here popping up or somewhere around here. And now that you got one, there's a lot of benefits of being a dual citizen. So yeah, if you have not gotten your dual citizen, I do recommend you to watch my first video of how to get one. You've seen my Instagram or my TikTok about 4 recommendations or 4 things that I suggest you to get as a dual citizen or of Mexico or a Mexican national. Well, you're in the right place. So first announcement, I actually do want to apologize for a lot of confusion with the first video, or sorry, for of how to travel in with and here in the United States to Mexico and Mexico back. So there's a lot of, so I've actually recently received this comment on my email. So here's this guy, shout out to this guy that actually talked about it, where he actually did have problems with the airlines, and he didn't know where to fill out his information and all that with American Airlines. So I actually helped him, and I found out a lot more information about airlines, with dual citizen and all that. So hear me out. I know it's been, I guess, 2 years since their applications, their check-ins have totally changed. So I actually do want to clarify at this moment, because I also almost had problems, but now that I'm here, I actually want to share it to you guys so you guys don't have that same complication anymore. So first up, I should have said in the first video where, how to travel back to the United States and to Mexico and all that as a dual citizen, I should have stated that I do recommend, if you're a frequent flyer, I do recommend to fly Mexican airlines like Volaris or Aeromexico and stuff like that, because those airliners don't usually tell you if you have a visa or if you're a green card holder. Because you could just put your Mexican information, your Mexican passport like that, and you're good to go. Even in check-in, they don't even tell you if you even have a visa or if you like to come back. Now, for me, in this situation, all I do is go to Mexico as a direct flight. I actually don't have any scheduled dates to come back, because as a dual citizen, there's literally no limits, but that's up to you guys. So if it does ask you if the check-in or wherever you're going to, wherever you're going to check your booking to Mexico, wherever, American Airlines or Delta or any of those ones, they will ask you if you have a visa or a green card. So what I do recommend you, if it does ask you that, all I will say is that you should use your U.S. passport so that you avoid complications through security and through TSA from here in the United States. And once you're doing your check-in or you have a luggage to check in or to document, then you should use your Mexican one, because it's an official document. I don't see any problem with that. And once you're at the gates as well with your Mexican one, all that, because once you're in Mexico, then that's when you actually show that you're a Mexican national as well. So if their system says, but you put this information, you can just either show them this, or you can say, hey, I have 2 dual citizenships, that's why. Or I doubt it, but I use Volaris some of the time, so I always put my Mexican information, and they don't ask me if I have a visa or a green card, And so now when you're going from Mexico to the United States, for me, I did kind of get confused, because I was like, well, why not put my Mexican passport? I thought I was gonna get DNR tax or stuff like that, Because if I use my United States passport, then I always thought they would think of me as a tourist, and they would give me that little paper thing. But no, I was completely wrong. So I did call the international airport and tell them, hey, as a dual citizen, I'm going back from Mexico to the U.S. So what do I put? So they told me that when you're doing the check-in, 3 days before your flight, they will tell you to put your American information, your U.S. passport, and then once you're in the once you're in the airport, you could just use your Mexican as an legal identification form, and even then, when you're going to your gate, wherever you're going to, they're gonna ask all Mexican citizens who have Mexican passports. They will ask them to fill out a form, which is that little form that I showed on my last video, which is this one, I think. Yeah, this one. And that's a form that you forcefully have to fill out when you're to declare yourself as a Mexican citizen, that you're gonna go leave out of the country of Mexico. So yeah, so either ways, there's not gonna be any complication. All I do ask you guys to please take your passports and let them know, you know. So that's all I wanted to clarify. I do recommend you to fly Mexican Airlines, but there's no problem at all if you're going to use any American Airlines. Just, you know, try to be smart about it and try to just, you know, always have these two in hand. You know what I mean? So Phil, if it does say that if you have if you have a visa or a green passport, or sorry, a green card, I do recommend you to show or fill out this information, but I also do recommend showing when you're in person to show this, you know what I mean? And even then back from from Mexico to the United States, also, you know, fill out this information if it does ask you if you are a visa or a green card holder, fill out this information and show this personally, you know what I mean? That's all I was saying. So you can use this and do this as a check-in or whatever in Volaris or any type of thing, but if it does ask you, if necessary, then you're going to have to fill out the other passport information. And another announcement that I do want to make clear is that I also made a new Instagram account. So if you've been following this Instagram account that I have, I actually switch it to this account so I can, you know, organize all my YouTube content and all my social media content on the Frosty King account, and this is going to be my personal account. If you want to, you could still follow there and, you know, follow this one. So that's all the announcement that I have. So yeah, that's all of the announcements. I just wanted to clarify, and I actually do want to shout out to this person that I helped him. He actually had a safe travel, no complications at all. So if you do have any questions or regarding to flying from here to there, I'm also going to make another video posting about questions, Q&As, and like frequently asked questions. I'm also going to be solving for you guys, so don't worry, that'll be on the next video. So yeah, now it's time for the real deal. So first thing that I do recommend, if you're a frequent traveler to Mexico and you're a dual citizen, well, this doesn't really have nothing to do with dual citizenship, but I do recommend you to have a SIM card over there in Mexico. What do I mean by that? To have dual service over there. As you can see in my phone, I actually have, oh gosh, it's not, there you go. I actually have two SIM cards, so I have one in Mexico and I have one here in the States. So first things first, I want you guys to check on your phone, any type of phone that you guys have. I want you to press this and then #06 #, and it will show your all information on your phone. So if you do have two EMIs, that means that you have you can have access to a dual SIM. So that means that you have an eSIM and you can have a physical SIM. So yeah, if you don't have another EMI, that means that it's only one EMI slot holder. So try to check in your settings if you're valid for an eSIM or if you have the dual SIM slots. You know, the reason why I say this to get a SIM card from Mexico is because the thing is, all company providers, I'm assuming that not all of them, right? But in my company provider, which is Xfinity, they're charging me international roaming data usage to use their data internationally, or roaming data, I guess you could say. So they charged me 2 years ago like $253 when I was there for only 2 days. They were already charging me as much because I was using a lot of data, and I was like, holy cow, I need to get a SIM card. But unfortunately, on that time of period, my phone was locked, so it was locked with the phone provider. But now that I got a new phone, you can actually access and tell your what's it called? You can actually call your phone provider if they can give you, or they can unlock your phone in order for you to use other SIM cards. There's another way you can do it as well. So you can actually borrow someone's SIM. Let's say that you have let's say that your phone is a service provider to T-Mobile, and your friend has Cricket, even though it's, you know. Sorry for them, my bad. Anyways, so if your friend has Cricket and you have T-Mobile on your phone, you can easily tell them if they can borrow their SIM card and put it onto yours. And if your phone doesn't have any problems with the SIM card that you inserted, that means your phone is unlocked. However, if it does show a notification that your phone cannot be used because of it's a different service provider, that means it's locked. So you will have to ask your service provider if they can give you if they can unlock your phone, or even on the app themselves, you can request for your phone to be unlocked. So mine was already unlocked for this new phone that I have. So yeah, I do recommend you guys to get your your dual SIM card. I got my physical right here, which is the Telcel one right here, the Mexican one, and then this one is my eSIM. So that's the cool thing, and the best part about it is that over there you can just pay your own service, and I will show you guys the other benefits that I do recommend you guys to get. So yeah, I do recommend you to get your phone, your SIM card when you're over there in Mexico, because it's way better, and it's so you don't have to pay a lot for roaming data. Depending on how long you're staying, that all depends up to you. I guess it's just option if you want to do it. So I do recommend that when you're going to Mexico. Now, the second most important thing is to get your INE. So this is the INE. This is the official identification INE. So what the INE is the Instituto Nacional Electoral, or an ID vote, or yeah, a voter's card basically. So this I do recommend for you guys to get an INE, because this is one of the most important and common things that they use in Mexico. So I do really recommend to get this when you're over there. So wherever you are going to, which is like Guanajuato, Michoacán, or anything, they do have consulates for El Instituto Nacional Electoral. So they have their own consular offices for that specific, for ID cards. So what I do need you, they accept walk-ins, so you don't need a cita or anything, you don't need an appointment. So what do you need to get an INE? Very simple. All you need to get is your Mexican passport, obviously for an ID, official ID. The next thing you need is your birth certificate, Acta de Nacimiento Mexicano. So in order to get that, you don't really necessarily have to go to the Embassy of Mexico to get one. You can go to La Papelería, so like, well, I don't know how to say this in English, but La Papelería is where they get like papers and school stuff, but they can also print your Acta de Nacimiento, and I would only have to pay like 100 pesos, 165 pesos, which is like probably like, I'm assuming like $7 to $8, I'm assuming. And recibo de la luz or recibo del agua. So that depends on who you're going to be staying with, like your tía, your abuelo, or anyone that's part of your family. Ask them if they can give you the recibo de la luz or recibo del agua. That means like from Telmex or el CFE, or what is it called? CFE. So those are valid, but remember those have to be valid within the 3 months. If it passes over the 3 months, then they won't allow it. So remember that. This is the most important part. You need 2 witnesses. Why? Because it's important for those 2 witnesses. That means that it could be uncle, uncle, tía, abuelo, anyone in your family that's over 18, to help you transmitar an INE. It's a very easy process. All you need is those 4 documents. That's all the process of getting an INE, an Instituto Nacional Electoral card. So yeah, bring your 2 witnesses. They don't need any appointments. They accept walk-ins. They'll call your name. They will give you have to sign papers. They will ask you questions, all that. They're very simple questions, like how much do you make, or not how much do you make, sorry. They'll ask you like, what do you do for a living? I said asesor de ventas, which is like salesman, and which technically I am. I'm doing another thing, a part of my YouTube, but still, that's another thing. And yeah, they're gonna ask you some sort of questions. You could just be honest with them, or say you're an asesor de ventas, or you're self-employed, or stuff like that. And once then your tios and tias will be interviewing them, saying, okay, how long do you know this person? How long have you lived here? You could either lie or tell them like, oh hey, I'm just being here for 3 months, or I've been here for 5 months or 5 years. It doesn't matter. They won't even like go through that. And then, yeah, that's all. They will ask you simple questions. You don't worry, your tia or anybody that's going to be accompanying you. Remember, it's 2. They will be signing you up, and you'll do the signature too, and they'll give you a paper. In this paper, I don't have it with me. I should have taken a picture. But this paper, they will give it to you. But please, please, please take care of it, because you're going to have to come back to the consular office of INE. So for me, it only took about 8 days, which is like 1 week. And I had to get that paper, and they'll call up your name, you'll do the signature, and you officially got your Mexican INE, your official document over there in Mexico. And this is why it's important to get that, because I'll show you guys what other things you guys need in order to, as a dual citizen, things that you will actually need. And there's a lot of ways that this is the most important thing that you guys need when you're in Mexico. So keep in mind, when you go to Mexico and you have Mexican nationality, please, that's the first thing that I recommend you. Alrighty, so the next thing I do suggest you to get is open up a Mexican bank account. So I opened up a Mercado, so I opened up two actually. So I opened up a Mercado Pago and a bank account. So for this one, this has a lot of benefits, which I'll be explaining here in a second. So I opened up an account with Mercado Pago because of the benefits that it has. It's not only just a regular debit card like any old commercial card that you can get. So Mercado Pago offers other services to pay or recharge a phone, to have data or saldo, to get international calls or calls in general, or data if you do decide to get your SIM card over there in Mexico and you can have dual SIM or anything like that. Also offers other services like coupons to your favorite stores like Starbucks, Indianapolis, Adidas, etc. And the cool things about this card is that you can use this card when whichever ATM you use, and you know how if you don't have that card with that bank, they will charge you a commission fee for using their ATM. Now in this card, with this card in particular, is that you could use this card whichever ATM you want, like Santander, Bancomer, or any type of other ones over there in Mexico. So that's the cool thing, is that they give you the money once you pay the commission, and they'll give it to you back, which is the cool thing. And I also opened up a Banco Azteca card because why not? I mean, you can literally use, it's a commercial one, so they can, I opened up just for the fun of it. I don't really have any other things to say that there's any benefits, but Mercado Pago has a lot of benefits, which I do recommend you guys opening it up. And so now, what are the requirements to get a bank account, or the bank account for Mercado Pago? Well, it's three major things, or one of them is the major thing, getting the INE. That's why I'm telling you guys, when you guys are in Mexico, go get your INE, because it will ask you that in particular. That's the major thing that they will ask you, and they will ask you a Mexican phone number. That's why I do recommend you, if you are going to Mexico and if you end up getting an account, they will ask you for a Mexican phone number. So that's why I do highly recommend to get a SIM card for Mexico, a Mexican phone number, and an address that you live in. So like if you live with your tío, tell them, hey, like, what's your address, and you fill out that information, and that's technically it for Mercado Pago. And it's a very easy, very convenient to use. And that's a very simple way to open up an account with Mercado Pago, and they will ship you your Mercado Pago. They'll ship you this card, and the cool thing about this card is that if you could say there's no numbers on it, and this is the QR code that you scan for when you have to do the activation. So yeah, it takes about 4 to 5 days for it to arrive, which is the cool part. That's why they will ask you for the address. Why do I recommend you to open up a bank account? Because the dollar rates in the ATMs are super, super low. Because whenever you use your American card, like, Discover, Chase, US Bank, Amex, or whatever you use, the highest dollar that they do is or that they give you when you're withdrawing money, when you want some cash in Mexico, is at least $17.50, or the most highest one is $18.15. Yeah, $18.15, and that is very low. Plus they charge you a foreigner fee, which is probably for, depending on whichever ATM that you go to, is 34 to 155 pesos, which is about $5, or typically about $3 of commission fees. So for me, I'm not getting my money's worth of getting, the dollar rates are super low, and they're charging me a lot of commissions and all that. No, for me, I was I need to figure out, and that's when I got the idea of opening a bank account, because literally I have dual nationality. By the way, quick note here, this is all this progress is for people who are 18 and above. So if you're under 18, you had to wait for a moment. So to get your money's worth when withdrawing is to use an app, or it's not really an app, it's a chat bot, which is called Felix. Felix is a money transfer service and easy to use chatbot. All you gotta do is Google search up Felix and then click on their link to their WhatsApp, and then you can, once you're in the WhatsApp, a chatbot is gonna be talking to you back and forth. You ask them how much is the dollar, and for new clients right now they are paying up to 25.85 to 21 pesos per dollar that you send. And if you send money for your first time, they won't charge you any type of fees. So that's the cool thing, is that for new clients right now, if you are in Mexico, or if you're planning to go to Mexico, and you're getting your bank account, you're getting everything, I do recommend you to go to Felix, because they're paying their $1.21. That's literally the difference between an ATM with using your you know, US card and an ATM with using, you know, your Mexican card and sending yourself money by giving the bigger bills, you know. That's pretty good. And it's an easy set, and it's easy to set up. It's an easy process to do when you're opening up an account. If you want to send yourself money through the app to your Mexican bank account, they'll ask for the information of the receiver, which in this case it'll be you. And then they'll ask you for a cable, which if you do end up getting your Mercado Pago account and you open up and you have your card and everything, so it's called cable. So the cable, it means like your bank of information account. So what you gotta do is go into Mercado Pago. Once you get the Mercado Pago app, all you gotta do is go here, and where it says, literally in front of it, it says right there, cable, with the little person right here, which I'm not gonna show the rest. So you copy that number and you paste it into Felix, and you know, say this is the account receiver's number, and then boom, all you gotta do is, you know, fill out the rest of the information of yourself. And that's pretty simple if you ask me. I mean, it's pretty easy. If you do have any complications, please let me know in the comments below, or even email me. So yeah, it's pretty simple if you ask me. This has helped me so much to get my money's worth and the benefits that Mercado Pago has to offer. So literally, if you are in Mexico, I do recommend you to get your Mercado Pago, and you can, as a dual citizen, all they require is just, you know, your INE, the place you live, and that's technically it, you know. I mean, it's pretty simple. And also from Felix is a very easy wire transfer money services that, you know, it's pretty easy and it makes your dollar worth. So if you have any questions beyond regard to that, let me know in the comments below, and you know, you can DM me on my Instagram or on email. So the last suggestion for you Mexican nationals who have dual citizenship, I do recommend you, do you want your money's worth? Do you want your money to be invested in Mexico? Now, I will tell you, investing in Mexico has been one of the best choices that I have. I mean, it's something that I am super proud of. If you guys want to do the same thing, well, hear me out, because this is the most important part that I do suggest you if you guys want to invest in Mexico. So, depending of wherever you're going to, like for me, I went to Michoacan. So basically, I opened up what is called an account with Alianza La Caja Popular. Basically what this bank is, it's technically a bank, but it's a government bank. So basically they give you préstamos, they give you, I guess, a credit, they give you a lot of benefits, which I wasn't interested, but I was interested in one where I can do investments. I put my money and it keeps working. So basically it's technically, in my point of view, I see it as if you guys don't know what a certificate deposit is, and if you guys do, it's technically the same thing but in Mexican pesos. So a certificate deposit basically is where you put the majority of your money in a savings account with the bank that is offering the highest percentage rate, or you know, the highest percentage rate that they're paying. So for example, in this paper that I have here, this is my deposit, which I'm not really going to show, it's kind of personal. So for an example, let's say that I deposit 1,650, let's just say, right? So they will give you a choosing if you want that money to be, you know, like a certificate deposit, like 3 months or 6 months or even up to a year for that money to work or to like keep growing. So basically I chose for 3 months, you know, because maybe what if I do come back, or what if I do go back to Mexico, and like once the 3rd month period is over and I can withdraw or add more money, I can. So you know, if that's depending on what you want to do, and it's an automatic. So right now it's automatic, it's past 3 months. So if I'm not gonna use, or I'm not gonna retire or like withdraw or add money, it keeps on working the money, it's keep making money. So the annual percentage rate right now in the Alianza for me when I was over there, it was 5.5%. So that means if I deposited 1,650 pesos, then the total of the cost will come up to 2370 once the 3 month period is over. But since I'm doing it automatically, those 2370 is gonna be put it into my account. So technically speaking, 1,673. That's just a saying. I deposited a little bit more than that, but I'm just saying how the percentage rate goes. So for an example, once the 3 month period is over, they will pay you the 2370, and if you're doing it automatically, then they'll add those funds into there, and depending on how much you have, it could be up to probably in the next 3 months 50 pesos or 43 pesos, and then it'll add to your account again, and then it'll keep growing. So it's gonna keep growing every time, like if you want it to be like working, or if you want it to be growing, you know what I mean? So that's why I do recommend to invest in Mexico and have money for any type of emergency plan that you have, you know, in case that, you know, if you have any plans to move to Mexico or anything, literally. That's why I do recommend you to open up an account with the Alianza. So what is the requirement? So all they asked me was, you know, again, just where do I live? So that means like your water bill or CFE, like your light bill, or anything that's remember, it has to be valid within the 3 months period, or Telmex as well. Those are other services. Also your INE, they ask for INE. Remember, they don't ask for passport, they ask for INE. INE is the most important thing for any type of transmite that you want to do, like opening up a bank account, or even for like, you know, this. And your birth certificate, your CURP, and yeah, technically that's it. That's all they ask for. They ask for INE, CURP, your Mexican birth certificate, which you could get at La Papeleria anywhere you want, and you know, a valid address that you live in. So whether that's with your abuelita, tío, or anyone, perfect. That's all you need to know, and that's all. They'll open up your account like that. You can make a deposit. I think the activation fee is probably like 100 pesos, so maybe somewhere between there. 100 pesos is how much the activation is, and then that's when you can use that money depending on how much you want to invest there. It's literally kind of the same thing as a certificate deposit. If you guys do not know what a certificate deposit means, that's basically what I kind of stated here with Mexico, and it's the same thing here. Just a little bit different. The annual interest rate is probably right now low, but in Mexico it's pretty high. So yeah, whenever you want to add money or withdraw money, remember, always take your INE and always tell them, hey, I want to withdraw some money. They'll take your INE, they'll take your information. They'll also take your huella, so which is the good thing. They'll like have your recognition biometric feature for the huella, so that means that like they can recognize who you are, and they can also give you your this type of card, which is the Alianza card, which is this one right here. I unfortunately don't have it because they didn't have the plastic piece for it, so technically I don't have the card, but once I go back, I will probably have the card and probably add more money when I'm over there. But yeah, that's technically it. It's a very easy process. You don't need any cita. They will have you be waiting with the ticket form, like a little ticket. They'll call you up if you want to speak to someone like that there to open up an account, and that's it. That's literally all they gotta do with you. Yeah, these are the 4 suggestion things that I do recommend you. You know, go get cell phone service over there in Mexico. Go get your INE, the most important part. Go open up a bank account so you can send yourself money to not only avoid the commission fees, but only to get your money's worth whenever you're going to shop or whatever. And also invest in Mexico. Remember, if you want to invest in Mexico and you want to, you know, get your money's worth, you have to go in person over there. So there's no way you can apply online or anything. You got to go in there personally. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things that you can also transmitar. Like for example, I also transmitar Bancoppel credit cards. I also opened up I also got my license over there in Mexico. As you can see, I got my license to drive in Mexico. Like literally with the INE, it's the most coolest part. You as a dual citizen, as a Mexican national, you can get all these benefits. So remember, these are the things that I do suggest and I do recommend. All of these are optional if you want to, but the INE is the most important part. So that's one thing I do recommend, to get your INE. But the rest is a suggestion, is one of the things that I recommend to make your travel more like satisfied and getting your money's worth. So yeah, so that was all of the suggestions that I do recommend you to go and get when you're in Mexico. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions, what other things you can transmitar or what other things you can get, literally you have all the opportunities when you're in Mexico. I'm super delightful to help you guys in any type of questions or doubt, and I will try to make another video stating of how, like, Q&As, frequently questions, you know, that you guys have I'm gonna make another video about that, like, you know, things that you guys have asked me frequently and you guys want to know. So yeah, that's it for this video. So if you guys are interested, remember, go and get if you haven't got your dual nationality, please go ahead and click that video right here. And if you also want to learn how to travel within the United States and everything, remember I stated in this video how to because they changed a lot about it, and also I kind of talked about it more here on how to travel between Mexico and the United States, and coming back and forth, etc. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my video, and hopefully this helps a lot of people to make their experience more happier, more delightful, and more satisfactory. So yeah, that's it for the video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.